You know that feeling when you're watching a really good movie and you're really enjoying it, and then it finishes with a really weak ending and totally ruins the overall effect? Well, the same thing can happen in a job interview. If you don't give a strong ending to each answer, then the interviewer can also be left with this anticlimactic feeling. So how do you wrap up your answer in a job interview so that you make an impact up until the very last second of each answer? And most importantly, how do you do all of this in English? Watch this video and you'll find out how to do all of this in 4 quick tips. So a lot of questions in job interviews basically ask you to tell a story, whether that's describing a situation or talking about a hypothetical scenario. But remember, the interviewer isn't inside your head and you need to help them understand the full story, including the end of the story. So in English, how can you deliver a strong ending? I think a sentence like this really helps. Thanks to my actions. So for example, when describing a time when you handled a difficult deadline, you could say a sentence like this. And thanks to my actions, the client still received the project on time. This lets the interviewer know the positive outcome of the story, and it also highlights you as a problem solver. This expression, thanks to my actions, is adaptable for different types of questions you get asked. Maybe if it's a hypothetical question, then you can also answer hypothetically. And thanks to my actions, the client would receive the project on time. You can even talk about group experiences. For example, thanks to our actions, or thanks to the team's actions, the client received the project on time. So don't forget to give a concrete result to any situation you're describing, and try using this expression, thanks to my actions, to highlight your role in the successful outcome. From the moment that you write your job application to the day of the final interview, you want to be linking everything back to the job or the company. For example, let's say that the job description demands somebody with excellent attention to detail. During the interview, all your answers will be constantly highlighting your amazing attention to detail abilities. And then when it comes to the moment that you're wrapping up your answer, you say an amazing sentence like this and you bring everything together. Based on all of this, I think I am a great fit for the position or the company. This highlights and links everything you've been saying about yourself and your abilities with the job in question. So by the way, make sure you do tons of research in advance. You've said everything you want to say, you've used these amazing expressions, you've wrapped up nicely, and the interviewer is still looking at you, waiting like they're expecting something more to happen. So there's a temptation to get nervous and start talking a lot here. Don't do that. Instead, try this. I hope that answers your question. Please let me know if I can clarify anything. After that, the interviewer either has to be more specific about what they're looking for, or you move on to the next question. And another thing you can do that turns the attention back on the interviewer is to ask them a question. So you can ask them a question related to what you've just been discussing. For example, maybe you've been talking about a particular system or software that you used in your last company, and the interviewer is still looking at you. Say something like this. With this in mind, can I ask you about... And now you ask about the particular system or software or whatever you've just been talking about. This has a double advantage of showing your interest and enthusiasm in the position, and it kind of opens up for a more two-way conversation with the interviewer, which can really help you engage. Always a bonus. Tip number 4 is for extreme panic situations. Hopefully you won't need this, but as we all know, not everything always goes to plan. And for that reason, my tip is to reboot and cap. So perhaps despite your best intentions, you get asked a question in your interview and you kind of go into panic mode and your mind goes blank and you're talking and you're like, oh my God, how do I stop talking? You can fix this. Pause, breathe, put some oxygen back in your head, and say a sentence like this. So, to answer your original question, and now you summarize everything you want to say in a final brief sentence. So for example, the interviewer asks you, how do you spend your spare time? And you've gone into panic mode and given a million details of all your life. You can just say, so to answer your original question, I like taking care of my diet, I'm a big animal lover, and I love interior design. So, what's the 4 tips you can follow to make a very effective ending to each answer in your job interview? Provide a clear end result to every story you tell, including a nice sentence like, thanks to my actions, and the happy ending. Refer back to the job or the company with a sentence like, based on all of this, I think I'm a great fit for the position or company. Turn the attention on the interviewer by saying sentences like, I hope that answers your question. Let me know if I can clarify anything. Or ask the interviewer a question. For example, with this in mind, can I ask you about something related to what you've previously been discussing? Reboot and recap. If you want to hit the panic button, say a sentence like this. So to answer your original question, and now you summarize everything in a fast, brief sentence with all the things that you wanted to say. Follow these steps and you'll provide really strong conclusions to each answer you give to the interviewer, further confirming that you are the best candidate. If you found this content useful, please like this video, subscribe to this channel. You'll get more learning resources at talktips.tv and my other social media platforms. Check the descriptions in the links below. Check the links in the description below. Thank you for watching. It's time for me to go, clearly. Have an amazing day.